Effective against the Delta variant.
All right.
A study found the two-dose
Let's
Pfizer
rock and roll, baby.
Slightly less effective than against an earlier variant, and the vaccines are generally even better at preventing serious disease and death. Get the facts on COVID-19 with the Fact Check Network.
Sports Radio, the Gambler and Live Radio Station, presented by Killer Auto Insurance. Summer Sundays are meant for freshly cut grass and the best baseball talk you can find. So kick back with your bacon and eggs and pour yourself a mimosa while Phillies announcer Greg Murphy and Green Legion Radio's Chris Stack break down your fighting Phils and take you around the league right now on Baseball Brunch. Play ball.
Good morning, Philadelphia. This is Untitled Baseball Brunch powered by Green Legion Radio. 102.5 Fox Sports the Gambler, 104.1 in the Trenton area, WDASAM around the rest of the Delaware Valley, or just simply download that iHeartRadio app and listen to us anywhere crystal clear worldwide. We are broadcasting live from 1100 Social on Xfinity Live here, leading you into Phillies Reds at 105, where Aaron Nola squares off against Sonny Gray. 11 out of 18 of our shows this season have come down to the rubber match. So welcome to Rubber Match Sunday. I'm Chris Sack of Green Legion Radio, and before I introduce my co-host, this guy, at the beginning of the season, one of my best friends, Pat, said that his career had gone down the tube because he had to work with me this season. And I'll tell you what, his career has gone nothing but up since he started working with me because he got hired by the Phillies pre- and post-game, and then he, out of nowhere, he's covering for Scott Fransky on the radio with play-by-play, and then doing play-by-play on television for a couple nights in a row. Murph, Frank Murphy is in the house, baby. I'm telling you, everything has changed for the better for you, Murph, and yes, you do owe it all to me. Thank you.
No doubt. Thank you so much. And you know what? Yeah, a lot of fun this weekend. Not so fun on Friday night. Kind of a fun for the Phillies throughout.
Actually, the week has been fun.
Let's
be honest with ourselves.
We'll get into that, I'm sure. But last night, yesterday, down at the ballpark, hot Saturday afternoon day. Phillies really they did what they needed to do. How about Matthew Moore? I'm sure we're going to talk about.
We're going to definitely talk about Matthew Moore.
He was outstanding yesterday. He really stepped up in a moment where this team needed it. Those are the kind of performances you think about in September when you're in a postseason race, when you're looking for that pennant, you're looking for that division. You think back to moments like that, and guys stepping up like that. Ronald Torres, another big game out of him. So a lot of good things to talk about. It wasn't the week that we had previously, but still, Phil's hanging tough against a pretty good team.
For those of you that had doubts about Matt Moore and posted negatively about him on Facebook, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know who would do that. Who would do such a thing? Why are you laughing?
Yeah, because I can picture you with your third beer of the night, and then
there's actually no beer.
I'm logging on to social media now. Here I go.
We're gonna talk about drunken Facebook posts later on in our second segment. We're gonna have some fun with the word association game. But speaking of, we're gonna go here first. The first segment is brought to you by MCS Residential and MCS Custom Cabinetry for all of your residential contract needs. This is who you want to talk to. Everything from additions, renovations, kitchens, baths, closet organization, cabinetry, vanities, basement, everything you need. Mention the Green Legion and get 10% off your order regardless of how much. Reach out to them at www.mcsinc-pa.com or call them at 484-202-3656. That is www.mcsinc-pa.com or call them at 484-202-3656. The owner of MCS Construction is actually in the house. Mr. Greg Meisinger, he's here today hanging out with us. And then also, State Farm Dave Babuso is here as well, hanging out with us. So plenty of sponsorship dollars are being spent with us. And
we got to be really good today.
Absolutely. So we do appreciate you guys.
We got to talk good today.
Yeah. Well, talking good, I want to talk good real fast. I want to wish my father a happy birthday. Fred Sack is in the house as well. I'm not going to blow his spot up like my sister did on Facebook this morning and say how old he is. But nonetheless, he only has 7 good summers left, apparently. For those that remember that from last year. And on a somber note, I'd like to acknowledge, because I didn't want to do this last week on last week's show because it wasn't acknowledged yet by the family. But over the years, we've established a family in Section 143 down at the ballpark back in 2009 when I had season tickets. And we lost a dear friend, Kelly Jenkins, last week. She battled ovarian cancer for 6 years. And she finally succumbed on Friday, August 6th. So I know Bobby doesn't listen to the show live, but our heartfelt condolences are out to Bobby and his 2 daughters at this most difficult time. So, Bobby, we're still thinking about you, and we love you, and the whole section of 143 is with you at this time. So just want to reach out to you and express those condolences.
Absolutely.
From those of us at Bud Light Baseball Brunch in the Green Legion. So, but nonetheless, we are giving people here at Bud Light Baseball Brunch, and we do love to give away tickets. So today, for ticket trivia giveaway, Murph, take it away.
All right, we're giving away 2 tickets to the Phillies rating on Wednesday, August 25th at 7:05. Happens to be a Hatfield dollar dog night as well, so you're going to get those free tickets. Hardly have to spend any money at the ball.
Not at all. You got the tickets covered, and you get hot dogs. I mean, you can't beat it.
You can't beat it at all. All right, in order to win, you must answer in the comment section on the Green Legion Radio YouTube channel, the Green Legion Facebook page, or on our Twitter handle at Green Legion. All right, and here we go. Now I'm going to set it up for you. You'll remember back in October 12, 2009, the Phillies were trailing 4-2, heading to the top of the ninth in Game 4 of the NLDS against the Colorado Rockies, looking at a possibility of winner-take-all Game 5 back in Philadelphia. That's not what they wanted. That was until Ryan Howard said to his teammates in the dugout, quote, "Get me to the plate, boys," and he proceeded to tie the game with a 2-out, 2-run double to right field, which set the stage for Jason Worth to drive Howard in for the game and series-winning run on the very next batter. That was an awesome moment.
It was fantastic. Loved it. Yes.
So here's the question. We want to know, who was the pitcher on the mound for the Rockies during the big piece's most clutch moment of his Phillies career? The answer and the winner of the tickets will be announced at the top of our second segment. I did not know the answer to this. I was there. I think I was there. Actually, I do not know the answer to that.
Lately, you haven't been getting my answers.
I'm not very bright.
You said that, not me. I'm not going to sit here and dumb you down, Murph. Don't do that to yourself.
It's the truth.
Well, let's talk about now. We're going to go to out of the box. We're going to talk about the week that was for the Philadelphia Phillies. Not as exciting as the previous week. Riding off the high of that 8-game winning streak. A lot of, let's just say, non-exciting baseball this week. Okay. 3-3 since the last time we were on the air, and hopefully today we can make this homestand. It's already a winning homestand, right? I mean, like, as of right now, it's a 5-3 homestand. So we would like to be 6-3 after this is over, if you include that Mets series. But in those 6 games between the Dodgers and the Reds, I'd like to finish this at a 3-3 clip by winning the series today in a rubber match against the Reds.
Yeah, and you know what? If you would have gone into those 6 games and said, "Look, if you come out of there 3-3, you'll take that," because look, the Dodgers. I still think the Dodgers are the best team in baseball right now. Yeah, they really are. They might not be in first place yet, but by the end, I have a feeling they will be. And the Cincinnati Reds, they are a really good team offensively. They don't have the pitching that you probably need to win it all, but from top to bottom, that lineup. Man, I'll tell you what, they are as good as anybody in baseball. I think they hit for power, they hit for average, they get on base, they don't strike out a lot, except for yesterday. But so if you come out of those 6 games and 3-3, I think I would have signed up for that heading into it.
I think you did sign up for that last week.
Well, there you
go. I
go.
think you said it on the show.
Yeah.
It's somewhere on it. Well, possibly. I'll tell you what, Murph. And I don't know if you saw my text message the other day, but last week was. This is disappointing. You've been liking a lot of them though lately, but this week was our most popular episode yet.
See that? We're building.
Playbacks were astronomical compared to any episode that we previously had. And I don't know if people are just searching for Phillies content, but man, the playbacks were insane. I would divulge the numbers, but I can't because Quimby will probably get on my rear end about that. But nonetheless, let's look back here. Okay, so last Sunday, the Phillies retired Roy Halladay's number 34 in front of 39,000 fans down at Citizens Bank Park, which is a phenomenal on-field ceremony. I know you told us about who was going to be there. Pat was ecstatic when Kyle Kendrick took the field. He was just so happy and giddy over the fact that he got to see his favorite starting pitcher of that era.
I love Kyle.
But nonetheless, Zach Wheeler was just spectacular. And I know he wasn't spectacular this past Friday night against the Reds, but he became the first Phillies pitcher to retire 22 consecutive batters in a start since May 29, 2010, which was the day that Roy Halladay threw his perfect game. And I'll tell you what, I loved Girardi after the game when he got all choked up and emotional, and he said it was like Roy had his hand on Zach that day. And I'll tell you what, man, like that right there, that type of emotion is what I want to see out of a leader for any team in Philadelphia, let alone our Philadelphia Phillies. It was just, it was awesome to see that from Joe.
And it wasn't just Joe Girardi that, kind of had that feeling. Zach Wheeler talked about it after the game. Both I believe both on television and radio. I can't remember if he did both, but Zach realized the big moment that was in front of him. There was a lot of emotion in the ballpark. Roy Halladay and his legacy, his Hall of Fame career. Obviously, we lost him way too soon. And Zach Wheeler kind of took that and took it upon himself to kind of honor him in a way that only Roy Halladay would have appreciated. And that was going out and just being an absolutely dominant pitcher at the big league level. Zach Wheeler was outstanding that day. That day was great. That's what I think is so beautiful about the game of baseball is that, it's different than other sports because it's an everyday thing. It can be a grind. It's 162. But so many times you get to the ballpark and you see something that is either something you've never seen before or it's something that is so special that you're never going to forget about. And I don't think we're ever going to forget about that start that Zach Wheeler had in this season on the day they celebrated Roy Halladay's life. I don't think we'll ever forget about it. We'll be talking about that 10 years from now on Bud Light Baseball Brunch.
10 years from now. I'm happy that you're planning on keeping me around that long for sure. But I will say this, though. We had that big win. We swept the Mets. We took over first place, solidly last week. But then Mother Nature decides to ruin the rest of the next couple of days for us on Tuesday and Wednesday. I said all along that the Phillies didn't lose to the Dodgers. They lost to Mother Nature. Yeah. Mother Nature went 2-0 against the Phillies this week. And not saying that, I'll look at this, okay, on Tuesday. Max Scherzer was dialed in on Tuesday night. But Aaron Nola gave up 1 hit through 4, striking out 7 guys with 51 pitches before the skies opened up. And Wednesday, I love Detroit. By changing up about an hour before the game, he puts Connor Brogdon in there. Knowing that what's coming. Oh, man, I'll tell you. Listen, the rain didn't last as long on Wednesday as it did on Tuesday, where you had to lose Aaron Nola. I mean, if Kyle Gibson did start the game, you would have brought him back. I think it was only a 50-minute rain delay that night. But he had Connor Brogdon pitch the first. He had Hector Neris pitch the second. Then the rain happened. Now, the down part about this week for me is the fact that the offense went completely cold. Violently cold is what I have here on my run sheet. 4 games from Tuesday to Friday, the Phillies scored 5 runs.
We had a stat on the broadcast yesterday. Larry Anderson actually brought this to my attention on Friday night when we were doing the Friday night roundtable. He said that
it's fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But he said that, guys, when was the last time? This is Friday night. When was the last time that the Phillies put together 2 hits in 1 inning? How many innings do you think it was Friday night before they put 2 hits together in 1 inning?
Was it last Saturday?
It was 42 innings.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how long the streak was. And the Phillies got 2 hits in 1 inning. And it ended yesterday at 48 when they finally got 2 hits, I think, in the 6th inning in yesterday's game. So how about that? I mean, that's hard to do. 48 straight innings without more than 1 hit. It's hard to score runs that way. I mean, they weren't walking a whole lot either, so you don't have a lot of base runners. That's a lot of quick innings. That's a lot of inept offense right there. So, I mean, it's going to happen in the course of the season. But coming off of that 8-game win streak, it kind of was like, well, it kind of brought you back down a little bit. But the good news is the Mets and the Braves can't get out of their own ways either. And the league ends pretty much the way it starts, with the Phillies still in first place.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm sure that LA didn't decide to do his own research on that, because I know you Phillies broadcasters don't do your own research. You guys have people that do that for you.
You do?
I've seen it.
Yeah, I do it for LA. He does it for me. That's how it works.
But I'll tell you, man, with the offense, the way it's gone cold, I mean, missing Rhys Hoskins. We're going to dive into injuries here in a few minutes. Andrew McCutchen just came off the injured list. JT having to leave the game in the first inning on Thursday afternoon and not playing on Friday night.
And that could have been worse.
That could have been worse. And thankfully, he did concussion protocol and it didn't cost us anything in the long scheme of things, because we would have lost him for 7 days if he did have a concussion. So, and then temperatures were flaring this week in the dog days of summer. Joe Girardi got tossed in the 9th inning on Thursday. Bryce Harper got tossed in the 9th inning on Friday. I'll tell you what, I think these guys have an understanding exactly of what they have coming for them in the stretch run here these last 7 weeks. And that's how things tend to work out in the month of August. It's just things with the tempers flaring and everybody, I love that. I love that, man. He had those 2 pitches that were strikeout pitches, and Girardi gets run up for that. And, it kind of brings me back to the old days when Charlie getting tossed, and what do you got?
Just like Joe's comment, which was, really, I was not arguing. I didn't throw me out when I'm arguing with you. Don't throw me out when
my back is turned.
Yeah, exactly. The umpires did not do good this past year. The umpires haven't been real good all season long, and not just for the Phillies. I mean, I think league-wide, there's a real shortage of the top-flight umpires at this point in Major League Baseball, which is unfortunate. I love what Ian Kennedy said after, so he really, in effect, had struck out 2 separate guys that both ended up walking, and said, well, hey, there's nothing else, and now I know I can get a 5-out save.
Yeah, Girardi said that's good.
I think it's like glass half full. I love the way you're looking at that. So, but you're right. It was one of those weeks, and in August, and when it was hot and miserable, and rain delays, it can be a grind. It certainly can. I mean, baseball's, look, we would all love to make our living playing the game of baseball. But when you're in it,
I would love your checks.
That's nice. But when you're in the middle of it, 162, it can be tough, and it can be tough mentally and physically. And the best teams, and the best teams are the ones that can kind of fight through that. And I think the Phils, they did what they had to do. They kind of treaded water this week. And now you look towards this West Coast trip. Arizona is dreadful. You need to take care of business out there in Arizona, despite what happened last night out there in the desert. And then you go up to San Diego and you play a Padres team that is headed in the wrong direction right now. They're in a free fall, and their offense is not what it was earlier this year.
Yeah, how does he know where we're going?
Thank you. But there you go. So it's like this is the week now where you get back up and you win 5 out of 6. 4 out of 2 for sure. Maybe 5 out of 6.
But I'll tell you what, the biggest surprise of the week was Matt Moore. Started that game yesterday. It was unbelievable on Saturday afternoon. 6 innings and no hit ball with only 2 walks allowed and 8 strikeouts and 76 pitches. He went to the plate in the bottom of the 6th to bunt over a double, but was then lifted in the top of the 7th for Hector Neris. I'll tell you what, I saw a lot of crying about this on Facebook and Twitter. Nothing was by me yesterday about the move that Joe Girardi made. Sorry, he had his beard, I do have to explain myself. Actually, we found out yesterday he doesn't really listen to the show. He's just mad because he doesn't have to. But nonetheless, first Matt Moore hadn't thrown this many pitches in the game since July 22nd when he threw 96. Yeah. Going into the 3rd time against the Reds lineup, it was time to lift him for Hector Neris, who had a 1.45 ERA in 16 appearances since the 4th of July. Second, there was no issue with Matt Moore doing a sacrifice bunt to put Odubel on second, putting him in runner score position. The perfect actually a little hard, but got the job. It set the table for 2 batters later. J2 made it 2-0, which allowed Girardi to hold on to a player like Travis Jankowski, who he used a pinch hit an inning later to make it 3-0. There's nothing wrong with using a pitcher in that circumstance to sacrifice a runner over.
Yeah. So the flip side is, okay, well, he had no hitter. Right? Yeah, he did have a no-hitter.
But it's Matt Moore.
Right. And there was no way, and Matt Moore being the first person to say this, there was no way he was going to get
my mom's shaking her head.
He wasn't going to get to the 9th inning. So if he's not going to get to the 9th inning, then it's okay to lift him at that moment when you think, all right, the matchups with Hector are perfect, and they were. He came in through 10 pitches, got to the 7th inning. Archie Bradley gives up the solo home run in the 8th, and the feel-good story goes away, right? But at the end of the day, the Phils were looking to win that game. And afterwards, Matt said in the post-game interview, Matt said, look, he said, I haven't shown that I've been able to get deeper into games this whole season. And he said, Joe made a decision at that point to pull me, and I totally respect that. And all that mattered was that we were going to win that game. And you know what? Give Matt Moore a lot of credit because he went up. Into, a lot of times, starting pitcher gets pulled out of the game. They watch the rest of the inning. They go up, they get showered, they watch the rest of the game in the clubhouse. Matt Moore did not. He came back down to the dugout. He watched that game with his teammates. He was out on the field celebrating at the end of the game. That's the kind of stuff that you want to be seeing.
That's the kind of stuff that'll get you a free eyebrow wax for Green Legion Radio.
You offer that?
To Matt Moore?
Normally, Quippy offers other types of waxes for Green Legion Radio.
I'm sure he does. But I'm telling you, that's the kind of thing that kind of brings clubhouses together, and it's important. It might not sound important right now, but it is. When you're making a run and you got another 60 games to play or 50 games to play, whatever they got left. You need everybody involved. You need everybody invested. Right now, this clubhouse is invested.
These guys right now are like good neighbors, and at State Farm, it's all about good neighbors. Life is full of surprises, some good and some not so good. That's why your State Farm agent is there with good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates for everyone. Yep, that's right. At State Farm, you get great service and great rates from every policy, so you can be prepared for all life surprises. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. When you want the real deal, call Dave Mafuso, Sleeveless State Farm Agency, 856-740-5012. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
That was as smooth as an eyebrow wax.
That was now called speed bump, you guys. Oh, God. This is Bud Light Green Legion Radio here with Bud Light Baseball Brunch. For sure.
With play-by-play Phillies announcer Greg Murray.
Yes. If you guys stop over here, hang out with us before the game today. And apparently there's a mimosa crawl going on. So we got a bunch of ladies that are hanging out, getting their drink on. So make sure you guys make your way over here to hang out with us.
I'm sure I'll talk about that the next time. You don't have to worry about it.
No, it's fun.
You guys just on left turn. Like, what? Mimosa crawl in.
We're going to go to break here after we messages. We'll be right back here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch, live here on 102.5 Fox Sports Again.
I can't look at you.
We got a new one. She said he will. Let's see what you're going to
No, I thought that was her friend, and I didn't even know she was
Protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 $1,000 comes with the vaccine. The CRM 197 Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 is not protected against all strains of the disease. Ask your doctor or pharmacist today about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or to adults with a weakened immune system.
I think that's our nickname for him.
The most commonly reported side effect is pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year for a Spanish series. It's pretty bad. So I crazy about
Babbel's conversation-based methods to real-life words
Next
and phrases. And with Babbel's
I'm going to announce the winners this year. She's up there at the
you'll
bar.
remember what you
So
learned.
I'm going to announce Christine Mays, the winner of the 2 tickets. And then we're going to go rate the worst association game.
Babbel.
I don't think we're going to have enough time at the end of this, but if
Outside
we
Babbel
do,
for free.
into the segment,
Just go to Babbel.com.
I have like injuries that we can go over.
I
just got 3 injury updates.
Looking back at the world,
Run.
Weekend Sports Time Capsule.
What's
I don't care about the other two. What about you, Rob? I know he's already missed the whole 60 days. I read a report on that. They moved him there a couple days ago to the 60 days.
You know what? He's the one I don't have much info on.
Okay.
Number 500.
He's starting to ramp.
Can you get that after next set?
Maybe we'll start to read out. Clearwater on Tuesday.
Fox during the
I have nothing.
This week in 1936, the United States beats Canada 9-8 in 4th editions outdoors to win the gold medal in the Olympics. At the Olympic Games in Berlin. This week in 1961,
You got 55 seconds.
45. Earned himself a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, getting it still lined out with 363 victories, an all-time high for left-handed pitchers. Jumping ahead this week in 2016, American swimmer Michael Phelps ends his career at the Rio Olympics as part of the winning 4x100 medley relay, his record 23rd gold medal. And this week in 2018, Brooks Koepka wins his first PGA championship, holding off Tiger Woods on a late charge from Adam Scott. Koepka becomes the 5th player to win the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship in the same year.
And that's just some of what happened this week in sports history. The Week in Sports Time Capsule on One Radio. The Gambler, presented by Pure Auto Insurance.
Oh, little Jimmy Bumpkin. I love it. The next step, a small plastic drink pouch that frees your hands while you get your beverage in the ready position. Any CK next to it. Try to free up those hands and wear your drink, everybody. It holds any beverage through the bottles, cans, snacks. Text with both hands and drink at the same time. Visit nextdip.com and follow them at nextdip. Customize it any way you want. Perfect for sporting events, Philly born and USA made. Only $5 each, 15% off when you use the code Green Legion. Again, visit nextdip.com and follow them at nextdip. I should have brought my nextdip to the Buffalo concert on Thursday night.
I was just about to say, welcome back to Bud Light Baseball Brunch here.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt about it. Welcome back. Bud Light Baseball Brunch here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. I'm Chris Sack of Green Legion Radio, sitting alongside Parrot Head Phillies broadcaster Greg Murphy. No doubt about it, man. I know he was at the show the other night and having a good time. He wanted a different song, but apparently iHeart doesn't carry it. So they need to step their game up in the world of Jimmy Buffett for sure. But hey, let's acknowledge first and foremost here the winner of our tickets for the trivia giveaway is none other than Christine Mays, sitting up there at the bar. She is the winner of 2 tickets to the Dollar Dog Night game on Wednesday, August 25th against the Tampa Bay Rays. The answer for the trivia question was Rockies All-Star closer Houston Street. Houston Street. I saw a Raphael Betancourt on here. That's a solid.
The fun question for a while. How do you get to the World Series?
Oh,
Houston Street.
Yeah.
Actually, it does sound familiar. I think that was a bad headline in the Inquirer.
How do you get the National League Championship Series? Via Houston Street or something.
Yeah, actually, it does sound familiar.
I like Grove Street better.
All right, so let's go ahead here. We're going to try something new this week because I was like, this second segment is always like, I like to have some fun with it. And I knew that we were going to have a crowd down here today. I didn't know we were going to have 2,000 people drinking mimosas here today. But nonetheless, here we are in the grand scheme of things. We're going to do a word association game with Murph. And it looks like Quimby's going to be sitting on this too. So we'll see if he has. Listen, Quimby, these have to be clean words.
I can say nothing.
Clean words.
I don't want to instill that.
I don't want to hear the turkey. Okay? I don't want to hear the
Jackson, get ready.
All right. So when I say a topic, Murph is going to give me a word that best comes to mind, and then he's going to elaborate on it. Okay? I know a lot of people probably see this with certain shows that you watch on certain networks, but heck, everything gets recycled in this business, right? So that's how it goes. So first and foremost, Field of Dreams game between the Yankees and White Sox.
Nailed it. It was awesome. I think Major League Baseball, who doesn't always do everything right, let's be honest. Yeah, but then I think that they got this one right for sure. The job that was it Fox?
Fox, yeah.
Fox did an outstanding job with the broadcast. The pictures that came out of Iowa. The way that ballpark came together and looks on television is I wanted to get in my car and drive to Iowa and check it out. Kevin Brendan, who obviously I worked with over here at the ballpark, he did the pregame show for MLB Radio, so he was there on site, and he said it was just one of the best experiences he's ever had in the game of baseball. So I think they nailed it. It was awesome. They also got a great game, which helps.
Oh man, unbelievable game! What an ending!
Yeah, apparently the ball flies out to right in the cornfield down there in Iowa because there was home run after home run after home run into the corner. Right, but look, for a certain generation, we grew up watching that movie, and that's me. And
does it still get you at the end?
Oh man,
do you still cry at the end? I do too. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's up there as one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I not a bad thing to say.
All right, me too. I really enjoyed the ending. I mean, just to see what happened with Liam Hendricks, at the end when he melted down and standing, just we're getting to you, pumpkin. Settle down, all right? And then Tim Anderson with the walk-off home run. Yeah. Did you see the clip that they had on Twitter of him rounding third base, and they were playing because the fireworks were going off in the background, and it was they were playing the song, America. Sweet America. They were playing just like they did in Sandlot.
Okay, no, I didn't see that.
Did I sing that well?
Not really.
Okay. I saw the look on your face, and God. Quimby, I'm going to take it to you now. I'm just going to bury myself in shame.
Did anybody else hear him say this is word association, not complete novel?
He said nailed it.
He said
nailed it. And then he elaborated on it.
I got it.
Okay.
I have one word.
Yeah, you gave 45 minutes to Diaz to do a top 10 things to be excited about. Yes, you did.
I actually walked out, went to smoke a cigarette. That's how
Yeah, but you left us with that disaster yesterday
Why do you
afternoon.
think?
Yes, thank you so much for that. What do you got?
Over.
The game is over?
No. It went over.
Went over.
Oh, you bet. All right.
No stadium walls?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Not in the middle of a cornfield?
Yeah, the ball was flying a little bit.
How many home runs were hit that game?
I think it was 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2, Kevin Costner.
I got it. Old.
I don't know. Cool. I kind of like Kevin Costner.
I didn't like what he said, but when he asked if this is heaven twice. Like you're really trying to get a rise out of everybody. Put on your pom-poms and your cheerleader outfit.
Did you think for a second that they weren't going to use that line over and over again?
No, but he didn't need to use it twice. When he heard it, I only have one question: is this heaven?
Maybe he didn't get the buzz.
People call.
Yeah,
And then
I can't.
they go,
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Is this heaven? Like, dude.
They thought they were going to get a bigger buzz for it, right? And I'll tell you what, he looks good.
They
For his
tell
age.
He does look
He
good.
looks good. And the funny thing is they had a dual picture between him and his father from the movie. And obviously, he's the older of the two.
Right.
But I thought, Kevin Costner, man, it's just funny with if you look back at his filmography and what he's done. I mean, none of it's really great, otherworldly great. The Field of Dreams to me is the best movie he's ever done. I mean, you guys grew up in that time frame and era.
Some pretty good ones. I mean,
I still enjoy it for love of the game. A lot.
Yeah. What about what's the
Kelly Preston didn't have to be in there, but
is it Untouchables?
Untouchables is great.
It's a great movie. I'll tell you what, if you're not watching Yellowstone right now, he's star of Yellowstone on I don't know what channel it's on, Paramount, I think. That's an awesome show. Right?
I'm distracted right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are. Let's go to number 3. I want to talk about the schedule makers. Phillies have 15 games left against the NL East. All of them are on the road.
Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. 2 words. All right, they're my 2 words. Can I elaborate? That's okay. Making the schedule in Major League Baseball, I mean, that is so way above my intellectual level. I don't know how they do it, honestly. It's like this incredibly massive project. But yeah, normally in September, you're facing your division team, you're facing them at home, you're facing them away. That's what we've seen over the last couple of years. For whatever reason this year, it's not going to play out that way. But I do think it might work to the Phillies' advantage. Quite frankly, you look at their schedule going forward, and I'd rather not be playing teams that it's a 1-game swing near the end. I'd rather play those bottom feeders in the other division and take care of your own business at this point. So maybe they don't need a whole season, Scott.
What do you got, Quinn?
Unreliable. Every time, it's the same deal with Major League Baseball as it is with the NFL and them scheduling games. They put asterisks on certain games, certain series, and when they want to have the most ratings possible, and then they create this hierarchy of the rest of the slots that and if you get overlooked, you're going to wind up with 15 games against NL East opponents all on the road at the end of the season. And it's crap as far as I'm concerned. They don't put everybody goes, oh,
Is that your word? Is it crap?
crap.
Okay.
The
NFL
NFL is the same thing. Obviously, we watch the NFL schedule very close.
Yes.
It drastic impact on our sales for the entire year. But everybody goes, oh, they've got the bean counters there, figuring this out. Everybody using every type of revenue cost analysis. No, it's some idiot throwing a dart against a board. That's what it is.
A good gig.
Seriously.
Gauntlet. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, I know the division isn't great, but having to go on the road for 15 games and not having a single one at Citizens Bank Park or a single series at Citizens Bank Park in September, it's going to be tough.
It's not ideal, but it still have the weakest schedule going forward.
I understand when you go to the Braves the next week. We'll touch base on that in the next segment. Number 4, Chris Sale returns after 732 days since his last start thanks to Tommy John surgery. His first start yesterday since August 13th, 2019. Almost 2 years to the day.
Yeah, all right. That's what you can do. I've never been much of a Chris Sale. I know he's a terrific pitcher.
Third best ERA. It's era. I have to because you said they were going to stink. They have for like the last 2 weeks. Before the season, I said they were going to dark. You said the Red Sox are going to stink.
Right. Well, there's still games to be played, so we'll see. Look, does it help the Red Sox get Chris Sale back? Yeah, it certainly does. But you know, it's a tough road to come back from Tommy John, and especially at his age. I mean, look, it's got to be what 33, 34.
He's 32. I don't know. I wasn't really following his age. I was worried about my dad's age.
Well, there you go. But you know what?
Who's first?
Who's
first? Give me your daughter.
I didn't say the number. My sister did. What's the word you're associating with it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is that a word? Is that in the dictionary? What do you got from?
Don't care.
Yeah, we're talking about this week in Major League.
Don't care is a polite euphemism.
All right. Number 5.
32, by the way.
32. Thank you. The San Francisco Giants. 75 wins. Best team in baseball.
Surprising, for sure. That's the word.
That's better than
Yeah, in the NFL, there wasn't anybody who followed the game of baseball that didn't pick the Dodgers or the Padres to win that division.
Correct.
And honestly, the guys that picked the Padres were just saying it because they didn't want to pick the Dodgers. No one thought the San Francisco Giants were going to be in the mix, and you know what? They are. And it's not a fluke. That is a good team. They can hit and pitch as well as anybody in the National League.
Added Chris Bryant at the trade deadline.
Yeah, look, they are in it to win it. Whether or not they can hold off the Dodgers, I don't know. I think the Dodgers probably catch them eventually.
5 games behind them right now.
The Giants are going to be in the postseason. I mean, barring an epic collapse, and go ahead there, I opened the door for you, because Gabe Kapler has had 2 epic collapses in the past couple of years.
I put a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
If it actually happens, I'll put a bigger smile on my face.
Short of an epic collapse, they are going to be in the postseason. You think Gabe Kapler wouldn't mind meeting the Phillies?
I would love it. I would love it myself.
I would love it too.
You know where you're associated with this? You're fiddling with your phone.
He's looking for stimulants.
All right, I'm going to go to number 6 here.
No, don't do that on me.
You got coconut oil.
He's looking for stimulants. I was just going to say, man crush. Because all you want to do is keep talking about Gabe Kapler.
Oh, no, I'm just
It's some capacity.
Listen, here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing, all right? Listen, I look at life as reverse psychology in some context, okay? And my buddy Pat over here, he can attest to this.
He's not going to help you now.
August 8th, 2008, I'm going to explain myself real quick because Diaz wanted to rip you this week for saying what I said about the Phillies on Facebook during Drunken Post a couple weeks ago. And then the Phillies were on an 8-game winning streak. A lot of times, reverse psychology tends to work. August 8th, 2008, the Phillies lost 2-0 in 12 innings to the Pirates. On the way out of the ballpark, I was extremely livid. I was screaming. I was doing Eagles chants. I was doing Let's Go Flyers chants all the way out of the stadium. After that blow-up of mine, they go 30-15 the rest of the regular season, 11-3 in the playoffs, and 41-18 since my great, we call it the Great Pirate Rant of 2008. Full credit is going to me and my negativity. I blew up in the Phillies 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, there's another 2 words.
2 weeks ago, I blew up in the Phillies. They go on an 8-game winning streak for the first time in 10 years. I called out Matt Moore on Facebook yesterday. The guy threw 6 no-hit innings. Is anybody following the trip here?
Did you blow up on me right before the Powerball?
Let's be negative, people. All right? Everybody knew when Murph and I were doing this show that Murph was going to have to be the apologist because he works for the team. And I was going to.
That's not why. Everything I say, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. All right. See, there's my set that. All right. Just tell people to start listening right there. And I don't have to go to my last thing, which is I'm going to say Drunken Phillies related Facebook post. But real quick before we wrap up the segment, the last one, NL wildcard race.
NL wildcard race. In play. For so much of the season, we thought, all right, 2 teams coming out of the West, whoever wins the division, and the next 2 teams going to be in the wild card, and the NL East and the NL Central, don't have a shot. That has all changed. The Reds now are 2.5. The Padres won last night? They did.
Padres, right? We got to know that.
Oh, yeah, right.
We're going to talk about that.
2.5 teams, so the Reds are 2.5 games out of that wild card spot now. The Phillies and the Braves are only 5 games out of that wild card.
I think they're actually 4
now.
Yeah,
4. Right. Got to get up.
And the Reds are 3.
You talk about like writing, that wild card race off early in the season, and now all of a sudden it is right there Phillies go out and play San Diego and take care of business, they might be right there in the wild card chase. So, I mean, obviously you want to win the division, but all of a sudden, that second wild card spot is spot.
I heard it, but I was going to let go. You brought it up.
Another margarita, please. It's back up for grabs. And you know what? That makes it so much fun. September is going to be fun in Philadelphia, for sure. There you go.
44.
44.
That's the magic number.
Okay.
All right. For the wild card?
No, win the division.
All right. Solid analysis right there by our esteemed leader of Green Legion Radio. Keep it simple, stupid. Yes, that's what they always say, right? All right. Well, we have Cherry Hill Triplex, the premier New Jersey Chrysler Dodge Jeep Kia Mitsubishi and Ram dealer, serving South Jersey and all the Delaware Valley. You have a huge selection of new and used vehicles for which to choose. Cherry Hill Triplex, online and offline customers enjoy vehicle specials every day. We offer Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Kia, Mitsubishi, and Ram service and parts, and online inventory and outstanding financing options, making Cherry Hill Triplex the preferred dealer serving the entire Delaware Valley. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Kia, Mitsubishi, and Ram buyers, get ready and set up a test drive. Visit us in Cherry Hill, New Jersey today. Coming up, can I redeem myself after my pathetic week last week in our pick segment? And we have another esteemed edition of Can You Believe It? Coming up right here after these messages, right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler with Bud Light Baseball Brunch, right after this.
For Philadelphia's relaxing favorite, Breeze. Breeze features varieties on the ladies through today with less talk and fewer interruptions.
Nope, we're good.
Cherry Hill Triplex online.
They didn't give you anything to talk about.
Nothing.
Not even a warning track. I went
Greatest invention ever.
I was waiting to hear that free plug. Baseball Brunch. I wish I did.
No, he texted me too. If I could have, I would.
I 100% don't want you to.
Before football game against the Cowboys,
You're much more valuable than
Come back, guys. Jansen,
that's greenlegion.com or 215-666-5940.
The Gambler, presented by Pure Auto Insurance.
Oh, yeah. Bucks County Baseball Company is the premier vintage sports clothing and collectibles retail store in the tri-state area. Visit www.buckscountybaseballco.com. Look out by their Bristol, PA location. Items for the Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, and much more. You can visit www.buckscountybaseballco.com or stop by their Bristol, PA location. The showroom is huge. The website even bigger. Bucks County Baseball Company, the name in Philly for vintage sports.
Welcome back to Bud Light Baseball Brunch for our final segment here on this beautiful Sunday morning after I almost died mowing my backyard yesterday. And for those of you that were wondering why we were coming back in with some Miley Cyrus, we got a bunch of people getting white girl wasted down here today for this Mimosa Festival at 1100 Social here at Xfinity Live. So, yes, partying it up and let's do it. Let's have some fun here today. All right. Taking you in. We got plenty of time here left before we go into Phillies Reds. We have more time right now in our final segment than I think we've ever had.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have 14 minutes to play with here.
Okay.
So before we do our picks, okay, can you give us an injury update? I want to talk about some injuries here because I know you just received an update on Sam Coonrod. You were listening to a clip before our last segment about Zach Eflin. I think we all know that Rhys Hoskins will be back at some point this week. He just received a cortisone shot. Now, he can come off on Tuesday, but I don't think he'll be back on Tuesday?
Get the Johnson & Johnson.
They are very hopeful that he'll be back on Tuesday.
Okay.
That is the talk. So he's eligible to go back Tuesday, and they think he may be back on Tuesday. It's a tough injury because the last thing you need is for him to re-injure. Now you're looking mid-September to get him back. So they're trying to be as careful as they can.
That doesn't sound good with a cortisone shot to the groin.
Ooh, no, that sounds.
No, thank you.
No, but thank you as well.
Sign me up for something else.
That's like Hollis talking about that needle that Irving Fryer got his.
Oh, all of that stuff. No, I don't need anything.
What do we have on Sam Kudra?
Yeah, so Kudra met with media today over there at the ballpark just about half an hour ago. He is going to start a rehab assignment with Lehigh Valley on Tuesday.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's big because that arm in the bullpen is needed late ball games. So he's been dealing with that forearm issue. He had a setback the last time that he started to throw. Hopefully he is ready to go.
That's good news if he's going to Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, it is. So hopefully, they'll probably have him do one, then sit, and then have him do back-to-back. So maybe you get him back sometime, well, maybe on the next homestand.
All right, so when we come back against the Rays.
I wouldn't be surprised. Also, Vince Velasquez threw a simulated game yesterday.
All right, nobody cares. No.
Yeah, no, it's important. Look, you need these arms. You need these arms.
He's sitting there, he's like, I got updates on this guy. I was like, what was it? He's got
yourself.
Vince Velasquez.
Vinny's going to start a rehab assignment on Tuesday in Clearwater. Moving on.
Yeah, you better watch out. You better watch out. He's going to treat you like he treated that guy with Boston. Get on the bus.
Yeah, right. Zach Eflin, big news, right? So he threw a simulated game today, which was great off now, and he's getting closer. You're right. I was listening to what he had to say. It was difficult, quite frankly, in Europe down here. I don't have all the details, but it sounded like he's moving in the right direction. Again, when you get Zach Eflin back, it's not if, it's when. He will be back. And you look at that rotation and you think to yourself, all right. I mean, you're
Regis Slick is a stud kid.
Right. Exactly right. So that's really good. And, get him back, get him healthy for the stretch run, and this Phillies team's going to be in good shape. So all the injury updates. Alvarado, Joe Jordan told us yesterday that Alvarado also feeling much better, and he may
shoulder injury. Right?
Yeah, it might only be the 10 days for Alvarado as well. Again, just the depth that all offers in the bullpen is good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. So let's go ahead. Let's get to our 6 picks here. Murph last week went 2-1 yet again. My man's riding a hot streak right now. And unfortunately for myself, I went 0-3. And
what's that called?
That's called the big over. Yeah. Thank you. Is that Jansen or is that the new guy? Tim Yoki? Because is that the new guy? All right.
Well done.
Listen, flat out, I suck right now. I do. I can be so much better. Murph is now 27-25-1 on the season. I'm 26-27. So if you bet with me, you're probably going to lose. But not this week because I'm getting back up on that horse.
Yeah.
Jansen, I'm telling you right now, I'm in the studio next week. I'm going to strangle you.
That was good.
Was that you?
Well done.
John, I love you. I'll see you in the studio next week, buddy. All right, Murph. All right, here we go. What do you got?
Well, the Diamondbacks had a great moment last night. They get a no-hitter from a former Phillies prospect, a reliever his whole career. His first major league start. I won't get into it too much, but he throws a no-hitter. I think they're going to have, not only are they going to have a literal hangover today, are the Diamondbacks, they're also going to have a baseball hangover. I love the Padres in this one, -160. Take the Padres over the D-backs. The Diamondbacks are not a good team, despite what happened yesterday. So, love the Padres. Load up on them.
Talking from experience here about hangovers, the Parrot head, Greg Murphy, he had one on Friday morning for sure after the concert on Thursday night. Never. Why don't we tell that story about San Diego?
Move along.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go with the Dodgers here on Sunday Night Baseball. -180 to sweep the Mets, but Scherzer on the mound. And just so I can hear Noah Syndergaard cry. Because this guy right here, he hasn't pitched at all this season. Yet he wants to put on his Thor. Oh my gosh, his luscious locks. Must be nice.
Thor is sore. That's what it is.
Some of us are going bald, and this guy has a nice, long mane of hair. Nonetheless, he wants to put on his Instagram story. Hey, MLB, ESPN, who's dumb idea?
Talk to yourself, man. Only you and Slash are going bald on this battle.
Listen, I'm not going bald. I am bald. Okay? I put the old 0 on the Clippers yesterday. But Noah Syndergaard on his Instagram story. Whose dumb idea was it to change tomorrow's game to a night game when we're traveling to the West Coast after? Won't get in until Monday morning. Take on the first place Giants later that evening. Brilliant. You can make sure that tonight you're going to like it. You're going to get shut out. You're going to lose. You're going to get swept because you guys stink. Go Dodgers. Cry me a river, as JT was saying. Cry me a river.
When you get back on the active Rockies, start talking like that.
And get a haircut.
That's it.
Or most of it.
I like that one.
All right, let's
I'm going over the number here on this game. Blue Jays and Mariners. You got Nats versus Gilbert in this one out there in Seattle. I'm going over 8.5, and I love this Blue Jays offense. I just love it. I think they're capable of scoring 6, 7, 8 runs every time they step on the field. And the Mariners, they're not bad either.
That's the over on the last Blue Jays game you recommended on the last baseball run.
How'd that go?
Very bad.
Very badly. All right, well, we're getting a half on track. Lay it all down to that, all right? Because I love the Blue Jays over 8.5. Mariners 8.
What the hell does he take gambling advice from Andy?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows that.
I just want to hear over. That's all somebody has to say.
Over.
And I lose my.
All right, Tom. My second pick is the Brewers minus 200 to take 2 and 3 versus the Pirates this weekend. Pirates are 1-9 in their last 10. They flat out stink. If I'm going to get back up on that horse, I have to take advantage of teams that stink, and I'm going to do it this week.
Yeah, you know I like that.
Low hanging fruit, Murder. Low hanging fruit. Oh, please. You owe me. We both had that pick. You owe me from last week, although the pick that we both had, that was your one loss this week. I don't even know.
Myrtle lost his iPad.
You know what? I should probably take the Pirates over the Brewers right now.
Am I allowed to point out match threats?
Sure.
There it is.
I'm going to point out my little win over.
All right, A's over Rangers, my final pick. I've written the other side of the Texas Rangers for quite some time now. They are a bad team, getting worse. They traded their 2 best players to the Phillies. So I'm taking the A's. They're minus 213. That is the definition of low-hanging fruit. But I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to eat it up. So that sounds like 3-0 for me.
Did you see the Cubs lost 10 in a row, and their starters' ERA is over 8, and their relief pitchers' ERA is over 7.
Oh, that's good, right?
No. They weren't playing the balls today. Against the Cubs.
Yeah, right. That's a bad baseball game right there.
All right, my last one. I'm taking the under 10.5 Cardinals-Royals. Jay Happ versus Bubich. 6.34 ERA for Happ, 4.43 on the other side with the Royals. I'm sorry, that number is a little too high. I think today we're going to go under on that number for sure. So those are our 6 picks. And Timmy O'Keefe, get ready to hit it. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Just like, can you believe the fact that John Jansen over there in the studios has a home run clip from Phillies broadcaster Greg Murphy, the television broadcaster Greg Murphy. Jansen, do we have that dubbed up, and are you ready to play it here? I'm assuming not.
Go ahead and recreate it.
Deep to left field. That one will go. Andrew McCutcheon, a solo shot. Number 21 on the season for Kutch. And the Phillies now lead it 6-1.
You know, my man, you said it was some sass right there.
That's right.
You said it was some sass. And I'll tell you what, your home run call is way better than Chris Wheeler's. There she goes. It's way better than Chris Wheeler.
Yeah,
it's not a shot. It's not a shot.
Is this where I'm not supposed to talk again?
Yes, this is exactly when you're not supposed to talk again.
All right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
All right. So can you believe?
was a no doubt fact, by the way.
Yes.
That was an easy one to call.
So can you believe it? 2 things that we found interesting from Major League Baseball over the last week. Murph, what's your first one for me?
All right. So how about this? This happened back on Tuesday, which was the day that Aaron and Scherzer were pitching, and they, both lost to the Rays. Where this stat may not have happened. But how about this? Can you believe this? The longest start in the majors that day on Tuesday for any pitcher in baseball was 6 innings. It's the first time in Major League Baseball history that every team was in action on a given day and no starting pitcher pitched more than 6 innings. How about that? And that is not a great thing for the game right there. It's just not. But that's remarkable. It's never happened before.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Was it at 98 degrees with an index of
Well, here it was. I don't know what it was elsewhere.
It was pretty much a long
Quimby, we're not trying to talk about your favorite boy band. Okay? Let's pull back off
I'm
that.
going to bring the heat miser into it.
All right, so my first one, you guys, everybody knows that I have a love for Adam Wainwright. Especially after he dropped that epic curveball with the bases loaded in Game 7 of the 2006 NLCS on Carlos Beltran, so that the Mets won advance to the World Series. So I just have to establish that once again. Okay, Adam Wainwright, 39 years old and 346 days. Okay, is the oldest pitcher to throw a shutout on 88 pitches or fewer since pitches have been counted. 1988 was the first year they started counting them. His 11 shutouts are the most by a Cardinals pitcher in the wild card era, which started in 1995. And his 88 pitches in a shutout are the second fewest by a Cardinals pitcher. Since pitches have been counted, started in 1988 again. But Bob Tewksbury, August 17, 1990, threw 76 pitches in a shutout by a Cardinals pitcher.
All right, there you go. All right, my second one is something we talked about yesterday on the broadcast. Jonathan India, who's the leadoff man for the Cincinnati Reds, rookie.
Again, you guys get your research from the Phillies research and development team.
That's right. No, this one came straight from the Reds notes. I just read it. It's right off of it. So he's having a terrific rookie year, is Jonathan India. Right now, he leads the National League in on-base percentage. He is trying to become the first rookie to lead his league in on-base percentage since Shoeless Joe Jackson back in 1911 did it. And Cuckoo Cuthbert did it back in 1926. So the only two players that have ever done it. And now Jonathan India is closing in on being able to do that. Although he's been not so good in this series.
Thank God.
Which is
great for another day.
One more day. But Shoeless Joe. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, especially with the Field of Dreams game this past week. My last one is the no-hitter by Tyler Gilbert last night. The no-hitter. His first major league start. Now, he had a relief appearance earlier in the week, but this was his first major league start on August 14, 2021. Only 4 pitchers have ever thrown a no-hitter in their first major league start. He's the first one to do it since Bobo Howland, May 6, 1953. And then the other two were pre-1900. Bumpus Jones, October 15, 1892, and Ted Frettenstein.
The Bumpus Pound.
That's over 1891. But hey, going into this week, Murph,
that was cool.
Another big week for the Phillies. We're going to try and get the rubber match here against the Reds this afternoon. Off on Monday before a 16 road trip starting. Phillies have 3 with Arizona, and then they go to San Diego for 3. They perform better on the road as of late, although their road record for the season is still 25-32. They have to go. We established this earlier, and I agree. It's weird in the run team. They have to go at least 4-2 this week. The Braves face the Marlins and the Orioles, and the Mets are facing the Giants and the Dodgers. This is a shot to where we have to keep with the Braves and put some dirt on the Mets.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Mets are headed in the wrong direction. They're hanging on by the skin of their teeth, but hopefully they can bury them and just concentrate on the Braves and concentrate on taking care of your business. It starts this week on the West Coast. We'll win today, too. Today's a big game. Football team. It's a big game.
Absolutely. So thank you all again for coming out here to One Like Baseball. We had a lot of fun with you guys. We're going to have another one in September. We haven't decided yet which one is going to be. It's either for the Rockies or the Pirates game.
We are going to actually get the kitchen staff a break in September. You guys are free to broadcast both Sundays
here.
On Sundays, but it's just going to be a simple open up bar. Come up, enjoy it. Doesn't have to be a private event. Bring everybody, draw anybody, bring your friends. Drink what you will, drink what you won't. Eat what you will.
Just know that the rest of the season, we are here every Sunday. The rest of the season for Phillies home game, we'll be in studio for road games, especially next week. But again, thank you all for listening. To those of you out there and on our social media networks and here down here at 1100 Social Xfinity Live. What an awesome crowd. What a beautiful day. Let's go Phillies. We have a 3-1 pitch to Ryan Howard. We are out of here, baby. Everybody enjoy the rest of this Sunday.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but
Thank you, sir. Good job.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. Okay.